everybody, this is Long Arm Wednesday. Laura Lynn here from the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. We're going to do a little bit of maintenance on Walt. We're going to oil him up and change his needle. So stay tuned. Oh, and we're going to do some quilting. We're always doing some quilting. Okay. Hey everyone, back with Walt and some little bit of maintenance here. So we're going to do some oiling. Okay. So there's quite a few spots you have to oil on your long arm. And it's best to, there we go, get the little knobby out. These are very handy and gently squeeze, okay? So I have a few spots. I've already, oh, I did put my bobbin back in. Oh, that's right, I did some base stitches. Okay, so I'm just going to put my bobbin over here. And I have this actually hooked around the back part of my, I call it what it's called as the repeat position. So I want to drop a little bit of oil right down in here on the little, we'll take pictures of this actually, okay, and we'll show it as it's being oiled up. Okay, sorry, just get a little squeeze going on here. There we go, watch it go down. Just one little dab will do you, honest to goodness, don't lose the little red cap. So here's another spot, okay, you just want to push the little, I call it the little silver marble down, and I literally just squeeze a drop of oil in. As soon as I can get it to go. There we go. Okay. Stabbed right on there. And I'm going to clean that up before we actually start quilting. So that's why I do that one of the ones first so it can actually soak in. And here is actually a piece of string that draws the oil down into the machine. Here's another one of those little silver bobbins, or circle thingies, balls, whatever. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, moving along the back here. Okay, and I got to come over onto this side, and there's 2 spots. One right here, which is also another wick reservoir. Okay, I'm glad these all haven't pointed out here. I never remember. Just drop a couple in there, and then one more spot right here. Okay, so you just put your little nozzle in, have a little squeeze, and that's all you need. Okay. I believe that is it. So, and don't, the best thing is to put the red cap on, stepping on little stuff, red cap on first, and then push the hose back in to the bottom, okay? And making sure you're using the correct oil for your machine, okay? So the next part here, I wanted to get my little spare piece of fluff here. Since this part is usually rubbing on the back of the quilt, I just want to make sure that that little ball is not coated with oil at all in any way, because I don't want it to ruin the back of this quilt that we're going to stitch up, okay? So it did need a little loving here. I think everybody was good there. So we're going to pop the bobbin back in. I've already loaded it up with my very pretty green. You know what? Actually, I should have got the color of the green. Hold on. It is jungle green. And since I'm doing a 4x4 theme for this quilt, it's got Jeep, keys, trucks, and motorbike. It's awesome. I love it. It's actually one of my favorites. And I did it on some kids' quilts for Christmas. So I've already preset it up here. So I have to change the needle first. So I'm going to come over to the quilt, unhook my arm here. Just slide gently. You'll notice when it's back in its repeat position, I actually have a chunk of batting sitting here. So when the machine sits, here, so you can see, I'll show you, there's a couple of drops of oil. And so you don't want that dripping on anything like your quilts or something like that. So you always have it in a repeat position, and you put a nice little leftover chunk of this, and it'll help soak up anything that drops out of the machine, okay? So we're going to scoot on over here. I like to have, it's best to just anyways, to have something under you as you're changing your needle. So I have my new needles here and my little screwdriver. Okay. And I am using number 18. was going from right to left. That is a new one. Okay. And I meant to keep one of the, I need to keep one of the cases so I can keep my old ones in. Right now, I've just been putting them in my pin cushion, so, or on my little magnetic tray. So I don't need that big one. I just need my little one here. So, or maybe I do need the big one. Righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. Yeah, no, big one it is. Didn't have there we go. Didn't have the hand strength. Okay, so I take my screw completely out. Okay, and as you can see, it was threaded there because I did the base stitches with this old needle. Okay, so put the old one off to the side. Don't get them confused. And one of the other Gamma ladies, I think her name was Linda, I'm not 100% sure, told me that there is a tiny little groove, and if you can slide your fingernail right in the front in that groove, that is the very front of the needle. So that you need that to face you. Okay, so slip it up. That helps you know what's the front and what's not. Okay, come right here. There we go. Get it all the way up there. Make sure it's facing you. Little groove. And take your screw. Pop it back in the side. And it came out. And give it a good tighten. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Okay? Give it a good tighten. Okay? I'll put these. I'll put that in my little magnet thingy. It's my baggie. Put them all back together. And I put it back in my other kit. Okay? I have a kit just specifically for long arm stuff. Maintenance stuff like this. Okay, so I'm giving myself a new little thread to work with. Okay. Perfect. Okay. And since I want that on the other side, just kind of thread your foot. Or thread the thread under your foot. There you go. It goes into the other side. Okay, so now we have done our maintenance. Easy peasy. I did give it a really good dusting earlier, and it had only been like maybe a week to 2 weeks since I dusted it, and look at that little guy. He was covered. And that's just, we live near the road, windows are open, you know. But just keep up with it. Even in your tracks, everything. Do it all. The belts, everything, the bars, you know, the bars where your leaders are on, everything. Just give it a good old dust in every other day, or how about every week was probably a better idea. But now that the windows are open more, I think I will. So maintenance, maintenance, maintenance like anything. Your bike, your dishwasher, everything. Everything needs maintenance, right? Okay, so I've already preset it. It's my new English. 42 inches this way, no, 49 inches this way, 42 inches this way. So I'm going to make it so there's 3 repeats of the pattern. So it's going to go work its way right up here, right from the border, work it right into the main part of the quilt and over. I really like this green. It kind of reminds me of the splash, you know, when they're going through the puddles and stuff. Okay, so we are going to just tweak this one just a smidge because I want it a little bit bigger. Just coming closer to the edge of my quilts. Closer. So there we go. Okay. And as each one gets to, as I've rolled it and set it again, I will tweak each row. Okay. So we're going to make sure that we get this one recording before we start here. And I like the way it's looking. Okay. So. Bottom button. Okay. Excellent. Thank you much. And we are going. So we are going to quilt. Well, we, the royal we, Mr. Welt. I've done my part. It's not like I did nothing, you know. Okay. I'm loving this green. Thought maybe it might have been a forest green, but I like that. It's jungle green. Okay, so single stitch, and hit OK, and off Mr. Walt is going to go. put the bobbin back in, didn't I? It is doing one of the 4s at the moment. It is pretty cool. It actually sounds a little different now that it has a new needle. I'm thinking I waited too long before I put a new needle in. Shame me. Shame. But I always, because I don't want anything happen to this big, beautiful machine, oil when it's supposed to. It's like every other one. Make sure you give it a little lubey. It makes them happy. So this is for a baby boy quilt. I think he's hatched already. I'm not sure. I don't know the baby's name, or I would put his name on here if they so wanted it. A couple more threads to clean up. So this was actually, if you were watching the weekend project, this was part of our strip quilt that we were working on. There ended up being 2 quilts out of all those strips I did. So this was one of them, and I have the other one. There we go. So one had a little bit more darker prominent. I used darker jean to frame it out, and the other one I used the lighter jean, which is the background. I am going to quilt up both of these on Walt, one right after the other, because the backing that I have can accommodate one right after the other. But I just wanted to concentrate on one, and I will quilt up this one. So, but the client liked the green in this one more than the darker blues in this one. So. But I really like this one. It's been great, like a little lap quilt. It's awesome. Pretty cute. And of course I wanted to use jean, because jean is sturdy and it'll last for the washes and it'll look good after wear. Okay, so it's done part of a Jeep. It's done part of the 4x and a little bit of the 4. I guess it does finish this off as it comes down. Now it's doing a key. Isn't it awesome? I love this. Love it, love it, love it. So we do have a contest going on, and you really only have like 2 days. Today being Wednesday, you got Thursday, and then Friday, we're like today and Thursday, and then Friday we're making the draw. So let me just peek around the magic Canadian quilt curtain, and I will grab you those wall hangings so you can see them, and then maybe you will enter. If you haven't already. Okay, there we go. So let's toss this little fluff in the garbage, and I will show you these big, beautiful wall hangings done in red silk. Okay. Wayward thread there. I'll be sure to tie that up before you get it. Okay. And this one's got chickens and a fence and some corn. I mean, it's pretty. It's a good size, you can tell. I was getting all artsy on this. Come on, people. Enter. Okay. So that's one. And then here's 2. So the first person drawn gets to pick which one they want. And of course the second person drawn gets the second one. Okay? And this one's more, it's got the big barn, the big tractor, the chickens, the corn, the big windmill. I think it's pretty cool. So if you want one, you got to enter, because it's not just going to magically show up on your door. And I will pay for postage. Don't worry about that. I gotcha. You won. It's all good. You even get a little extra bonus. There we go. Let's finish it up the Jeep. I personally drive a Jeep, so I like this one. I've had my Jeep almost 10 years, and I call her Beatrice. Yes, everything has a name, including the chickens. Oh, it's finishing on the other 4. Awesome. And then next it's going to do a motorcycle, and then after that it's going to do a truck, and then that's pretty much the block, and it's just going to repeat. I think it's going 2 times across and 3 times down. I think this makes a great little baby boy quilt. Tension feels good. Don't feel anything weird. So on weekend projects, we are going to be working on some blocks. I picked up this magazine, which you can locally get right now in any little bookstore, magazine store, whatever, so you can totally follow along with me and grab the pattern. I will let you know which one we're going to be doing and on which day. It's got block names, the numbers, what you need, patterns on the inside, you name it. For just a couple bucks, we're going to do 8, and we're going to make ourselves an awesome quilt by the end of summer. What do you think of that? Why not, right? Partake. You don't have to use the colors I'm using. You can use whatever. You can use scraps. Raid people's closets. Stuff they've outgrown. They won't know. Be dangerous. Make them an heirloom quilt. So, anyways, there's lots in here. There's, I kind of thought of a nautical theme because there's some boats in here, and there's duckies, and there's, yeah, look at paddling. Isn't that cute? I love that one. So I thought maybe, and there's like a nautical star. I think it's called the Mariner Star. So I think that's what we're going to end up doing. I just have to pick all the blocks out first, and I will let you know exactly what you need before we start that session. So, you know, at the beginning of the video, you'll know exactly what you need, so you can always pause it, go grab what you need, and come back, and then we can work on it together. What do you think? Choose matching threads or choose totally contrasting threads. Mix it up. It's your choice, right? We can do a little bit of applique, because that boat one right there, to me, I mean, come on. It's just calling to be made. Don't you think so? Sailing the high seas. Woo! Ooh, motorcycle's almost done. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or whatever, you know, let me know. If you want to order a quilt, please, let's chat. Or you want to give me your quilt up? I quilt it up. Make it pretty. We can make art together. Give us a chance. My husband is smirking at me. Thinking I've probably lost it. Having a good time at life. Let's just put it that way. Owen's doing the truck tire now. I like that motorcycle. He's cool. So I've actually had every vehicle on this stitch. I've had the truck, I've had the motorcycle, and I have the Jeep. Not bragging, just saying it. It's pretty cool. I connect with this. This means probably why I like it so much. I think it'd make a great picnic blanket too. You know what I mean? Just like the ones that you take out camping and stuff like that. Cuddling up on the back of the truck or whatever by the fire. And I got some nice light tones in here, like this kind of muslin-y color. I didn't put any whites because I didn't want them to feel that they had to keep the white. But I did mix up a bunch, so it would kind of go with anything, you know, and a good play blanket. Have some fun. Stitching away. I don't see him running. I was in Ottawa this last weekend, and I had a fabulous time with my girlfriend Kimberly. I hadn't seen her in 11 years, so it was really awesome to see her and spend some time with her. But she was there on business, so, you know, kind of had it. I hung out with some of her homies that she had to work with and stuff, or had to, does work with. It's kind of like I was forcing it, but wasn't. But had a great time. Went to Rib Fest and heard Sarah McLachlan playing on the other side of the canal at the Jazz Festival. It was pretty cool. I don't normally go to the big city, but it was a nice adventure, but I'm happy to be home in little old Hillsburg. I kind of wanted to see a couple of quilt shops, but I didn't really want to venture too far, knowing that she was kind of off for lunch, right? So, but I did do some sewing in the hotel. Why not? I did. It was hot. I did take breaks. I went out and saw the canal and visited the market, and you know, I puttered around by myself. It was a little weird, but I did okay. You meet people from all over. I stayed at one of the nicest hotels in Canada, too, that I realized. The Fairmont Laurier Chateau. And of course, the Queen's been there, and I saw a whole bunch of pictures of history that were all posted around the hotel. It was beautiful. Like, my goodness. As I arrived, I was like, I don't know if I'm fishy-poshy enough for this place. So I plan to keep myself quite busy throughout this summer, since crossing guard is pretty much over with as of today. Not over with, but just, you know, done for the summer, right? Back in September. So I'm going to keep myself busy. I've got lots of quilts I'm going to be making. I've got lots of kits I'm going to be doing. Of course, the blocks we'll be doing, and that'll be a special quilt. I've got my colors already picked out that we're going to be using, and of course I'll grab some other stuff for my stash, the complimentary ones, like should I need leaves or green and whatever. But the base colors I have already. Picked those up the other day. I got one on the go. Actually, this is one I was working on in the hotel. It's called from Pedal Card Quilts. I think I did their gemstone one too. That might have been from Pedal Card Quilts. But this is by Diane Nagel, Nagle, from Henderson, Nevada. And it's called Candy Cane. It was quite pretty. I had a lot of fun. I did, I think I got these outside blocks here, and I don't know. I got about 6 done, so not too bad. I didn't want to completely stay in the room and work on quilts, but I had a lot of fun. And of course, when I had to pack up, I can imagine what the lady that was cleaning the hotel was thinking. What's she doing here? She's sewing. And of course, all the thread stuck to the carpet. I tried to clean some of them up, but just wasn't working. And I brought my other machine, which I have to actually pull the fabric away from to snip the threads away. This my big beautiful Janome back here. It has an auto cut, so I was like, I had to kick it old school. It's just starting on the second set. So this is one complete pattern right here. The 4x4, the Jeep keys, 4x4, the truck, the motorcycle, another 4x4, another keys, and then another 4x4. It's good size. I did I'm not sure what you would call it. We were calling it the magic carpet. One of the little girl, actually no, one of them, that comes with me after crossing guard. She stays with me for a little bit. She asked me to make something really special for her Nana that was visiting, or was coming to visit. So apparently they have this magic carpet thing between them, and it's a magic carpet ride. So I started off small in my head, like just a little wall hanging, but literally in the end of it, it was like a single size quilt that they all can hang out on. So I used, apparently her favorite color was aqua. So I used, literally it was a remnant of aqua. I couldn't even see what was wrong with it. I think it's because it was just so small you couldn't really do much with it. Bordered it out with some gray. Set a pre-pattern. I think it was called, I think it's a tablecloth pattern anyways. So I'd set it out in the parameters of, within the satin and stitched it in one color. And then I took it again, copied it, pasted it back on, and then shrunk it just a tiny, tiny smidgy. So when it's stitched again with the other color, it kind of looked like ribbons. You know what I mean? Or to me it did anyways. So that was all in the center of the quilt. And then on the sides was dragonflies on the narrow sides, and then on the long sides it was all butterflies. So, and she really loved it. It turned out really good. I should probably post some pictures of that too. I think I took some. I was going to go with her when she was going to give it to her Nana, but I'm such a blubber butt. I was just so then it's okay. I don't need to be a blubberer. So cool. Yes, very much looking forward to all my little summer projects. I'm doing the quilt blocks and more. Actually, trying to figure out, I think we were doing, I got to get caught up on some quilts of valor. But there's one that I've been asked to do, to stitch up, and it's going to hang in a quilt shop. And I'm very, very honored and very, very nervous to take this on. But I think this weekend, because it's a weekend holiday, after we do our weekend project, I'm going to take some time and I'm going to get some dimensions, and I'm really going to plan it out, whether I want to do feathers or how I'm going to fill it in, the negative space, because I really, really want this to pop. I really wanted to, people go, who did that? Me, Loli of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. No. And then I got a couple more quilts of valor to do. Which usually those is a bit of me and a bit of Walt, and we just mix and have fun and get them all quilted up and looking pretty. And it's doing the front grill of the Jeep. Looks cool. Well, it's pretty much just going to stitch itself up. So we'll take pictures at the end, as we always do. So thank you very much for staying tuned to Long Arm Wednesday. And be sure to check out Weekend Project. There's lots of fun stuff there. Leave a suggestion, leave a comment, take a picture of something you're working on. I totally want to see what everybody's working on. You got to work on something. Can't sit on your bum, twiddle your thumbs all day, can you? Well, I'm sure some can, but let's not do that, okay? Let's work. Let's do something productive, okay? Reduce, reuse, recycle. Thanks, everybody. See you next time on Long Arm Wednesday. Ciao. From the Mama Pop Quilt Shop.